Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So jumping right into today's set, I'm just starting off with a little bit of nail prep. I kind of did some of it off camera, but I am showing you guys here, just taking a small mandrel bit, going around that cuticle area, and just also buffing over the surface of my nails to remove all of that surface shine. This step is really important if you want your nails to last. Followed by that, I'm going to take a cotton pad and some alcohol and just wipe over my nails just to remove all of that dust. And for today, I'm not going to be doing really any like prep to make these nails last. I am going to be using my pop-off method, which I am going to show quickly. And this is only for if you want your nails to pop off, like if you practice a lot. And obviously me, I create a lot of content, so I don't want to have to go in and cut these down, file them, soak them off. So I just go in with this UNT water-based peel-off base coat, and this is linked down below in my Amazon storefront if you guys want to check it out. But I do apply this to my nails, only using a really thin layer because I don't need a lot. Even though I did buff over like my surface shine, like kind of prep my natural nails a little bit, this water-based coat still works very good. So I go in with a really thin layer of this over all of my nails, allow that to dry, and then once it completely dries, I go over that with a no wipe top coat. And this is the top coat I only use for my peel off base, whether it's using this UNT water based coat or the cuticle oil method. And then of course I'm gonna cure this for 30 seconds. So after that's been cured, I do take more alcohol and just wipe over the surface of my nails, and then I can get into applying my tips. The nail tips I'm using are the non-C curve coffin from 𝑭𝒐𝒏. All of these products I will try to have linked down below along with my discount code so that you guys can save some money off if you find something throughout this video that you are interested in trying. I am using the gel method to apply these. Basically just putting some base coat inside of my nails and just flash curing them on using my Melody Susie flash curing light. So before I go in with my application, I'm going to be taking some base coat and just adding a really thin layer over all of my nails. I am going to be using Polygel today, and you want to go in with a layer of base coat so that the Polygel adhere better. If you get like the beginner kits, that's always like a step that you should try to include in your Polygel application. It's just going to help that Polygel adhere better and last longer. I don't necessarily need these nails to last, however I do like to include this and show it throughout my videos sometimes, just in case there's some of you guys who may be confused or just get it better just like looking at someone else do it, you know, like my visual learners. I know that's a thing because that's how I am. I love to watch it being done first. So yeah, I just love to include this throughout my videos. And then of course, once I add that layer of base coat, I go ahead and cure in a bigger light for 60 seconds. So the theme of my nails today is a purple ombre butterfly set, and this is actually a inspiration set I seen on Pinterest. I love getting my inspiration from Pinterest or like recreating designs. So basically I'm gonna be taking this purple polygel here from this Makartt purple kit, and I don't know if this kit is still available. The last time I showed a Makartt kit, it was like discontinued, and I didn't even know until I went to link it. So I don't know if this kit is still out there, but if it is, I will have it linked down below. Unfortunately, I don't have a discount code for my card. Yeah, I just don't know what my card is doing, but I'm gonna be using this purple here on my tips of my nails. And basically I'm just gonna be doing the same thing. This will be the only color I use for my ombre, so I will be applying this to all of my nails on my tips. And the way I like to apply my polygel is really simple. I sometimes feel like a broken record explaining how I do polygel, but it's honestly so easy and it's always the same. So basically you go in with a line of polygel where you want it. If I was doing this nail a solid purple, I would take it all the way up to the cuticle area and basically repeat that same process. But instead I'm going to be doing it only on the tip. So I take it from where I glued on my nail tip all the way down to the free edge and basically just use a polygel brush and work that polygel over the nail. I like to pat it over the surface first, which you guys can see me doing here. Basically just patting it all over the surface, and then once it's spread out, you want to go in and start to smooth it in. Like, just make sure that everything is all even. If you see it has some dips, take some polygel from the areas that's looking really bulky and just kind of spread it out. Make sure it's even first because that's going to save you a lot of filing time. And then once it's to my liking, I just go ahead and cure and move on to the next nail. And honestly, the polygel is just that simple. If you are looking for a good polygel to use, I would honestly recommend Makartt because they have really nice quality polygels. I say this a lot in my polygel videos that the quality is really great. And if you are a beginner, I would recommend polygel that's more on the stiffer side because it's easy to move. It doesn't run all over the place. It moves exactly where you put it. It doesn't like move until you move it. And beginner or not, I just feel like that's just what you want in a polygel, because why have a product that's just gonna run all over the nail? It's just gonna take way too long trying to like sculpt it out and like get it right. So honestly, it doesn't even have to be Makartt, but I do recommend polygel that's more on the stiffer side. I know Model Ones also have some really good ones. But yeah, that's basically how I'm gonna do my polygel application. So I'll just let you guys go ahead and watch me apply this to all of my tips. Then after having all of them cured, this is how my tips look. For my ombre color, I am going to be using another one from Makartt, and this one is my favorite nude from them called a Siesta. And basically, I'm just going to be repeating that same process, but of course adding on my ombre. So for this bead, I'm only going to put a little dot or a little bead right there on my nail bed area. And the way I like to do this part is start with like my cuticle area first. I want to make sure that is situated before I start to blend down, because if I blend it down first and have to work up backwards, there's just no telling how that cuticle area is gonna look. You may not have enough product, or you may have too much, and it'll just start getting really messy. So what I like to do is just make sure my cuticle area is nice and flush first. Work that polygel at work the brush at an angle so the polygel like really looks seamless, if that makes sense. And then once I have that area situated, I'll take my brush, add a little bit of pressure, and start to blend it down. From my experiences, I do know my ombres come out a lot better when my brush is a little bit drier. So when I start to do my ombre, I don't dip it back into my slip solution. I just go in with the rest, like with my brush, how it is. And that's just going to give you a better look doing ombres. I don't know if that's everyone's way of doing it, but I do know that works really great for me. And it also helps if you don't use a lot of product. Always work with less, because you can go in and add more, but if you add too much, it's just gonna be a mess. And I know my Polygel application does look a little bit transparent or not really like opaque in some areas, and that's just because, like I said, I like to work with less product than more. Once I cure on my first layer, you will see me quickly go back in and add a second layer. And then once I finish, I'll be done with my ombre. So again, I'll just let you guys go ahead and watch this part play out. The second layer of this nude really helped it look a lot better. Of course, I went ahead and cured that for 30 seconds, and now it's time to encapsulate. If you don't encapsulate ombres, it's just going to mess up all your hard work. So for my encapsulation, I'm going to be using 𝚙𝚘𝚘𝚍 clear and just basically working that over my entire nail. I'm only going to show 2 nails of me encapsulating because I feel like this part can really be like boring and just really repetitive. So I think I'm going to show 2 nails on camera, and then I'll finish the rest off camera, and then I'll be back to show you guys how they look. So like I said, I did only show 2 nails on camera. This is going to be the last one. Once I have it cured, I finished the rest off camera, and then I went ahead and shaped, buffed, and filed my nails. I did record it, but I decided not to show it in today's video for some reason. I just kind of wanted to get through this a lot faster. I do think I did a really good job on my filing. Like, all of my nails look really smooth, and I love how the shaping looks. So next is the nail art, but before we get into the actual nail art, I'm going to be adding a really thin layer of base coat over all of my nails, because once I go in with the nail art, it's going to apply a lot smoother and easier. And also, if I have to do some cleanup, it'll come off easy and not look really messy and like smudgy. So this is a really great tip when it comes to nail art, especially if there's going to be like a lot of detailed nail art on there. Always draw over a top coat, matte top coat, or a base coat. The nail art is going to be really simple. I'm going to be using a dotting tool and some white gel polish and just dot on some clouds. The clouds can look any way you want them to look, but I like to make mine look really fluffy. So I'll just go in with like this dotted motion until I form out the top of my clouds. And what I feel like make these clouds look really nice is if you take like a dry cleanup brush or any type of brush and just basically like pat out the bottoms so they look a lot more like whimsy, like, you know, ombre kind of. I don't know what this is called, but you can see what I'm doing in the video. But I think that really makes the clouds look really nice. And I'm going to be repeating that cloud look over on my pinky nail as well. For the rest of my nail art, I'm going to be using some stickers and water decals. I basically just picked out the ones I wanted, and here you just see me trying to like map out which butterfly I want where. For the water decals, you do have to place them in some water, and that's how you get them off. You can't just use them like stickers, but the outcome is just like a sticker, but better if not. So basically I'm just cutting out the ones that I want, and this process was like recorded. It was just all over the place. And I didn't really like how it was recorded, but I am going to try to like keep parts in so you guys can kind of see what's going on. But a lot of parts I was just really out of frame, or it just didn't look right. It was just all over the place. So I tried my best to edit out parts that didn't really make sense, or just like all of the unimportant parts. But for the most part, you can tell what's happening. I'm just placing my water decals and stickers where I want them to be. And as you guys can see, I did go ahead and repeat that little butterfly and cloud look on my thumb just really quickly. And now I'm going to be adding on some rhinestones. So for my middle finger and ring finger, I did go ahead and map out where I want to place my rhinestones, and that's basically going to be like a smile line bling area. So I'm going to be using 𝚙𝚛𝚘𝚘𝚍𝚑 bling gel and put that where I want my rhinestones to go, and then of course I'll just go ahead and place them down and cure them in place. So now after I've got all of my butterflies on, all of my nail art and rhinestones, I'm going to go ahead and seal everything in with a top coat really quickly. And then of course cure that in the light for 30 seconds. And like always, to finish this set off, I'm going to be adding some cuticle oil, rubbing that in to re-nourish my cuticles. And once I do, this is how the finished set looks, and I love this so much. It gives me spring and summer. The light purple gives me like springish, but the butterflies definitely gives me summer, and the bling I added just goes in so well. And for the bling on like my cloud and butterfly nails, I did kind of throw in some rhinestones just to make it look a little bit better, and I'm just so obsessed with how this turned out. Again, I will try to link everything I used down below along with my discount codes. And that basically concludes today's video, so let me know what you guys thought about today's set. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.